everyone, what's up and welcome to my channel. My name is Shandy. If you're new here, go ahead and hit that subscribe button below. Give this video a thumbs up and be sure to comment down below as well. So today we are going to be creating something a little bit different than what I normally do, and I actually really like how it turned out. But we are going to be using 4 different shades in the Morphe 24A Artist Pass Palette. So if you guys want to see how I created this eye look here, then just stay tuned and keep on watching. Okay, so you guys are already zoomed in, and as you can tell, I have absolutely nothing on my face, and that's because I want to try something different. So what better time to try something different than now? So as you can tell, I already have tape on, and I've never applied eyeshadow with tape. I've tried to probably a couple of years ago and it didn't work out. So we are going to attempt to again today. And I don't have anything on my face because I don't know how messy or anything this is going to get. Plus with tape being down, if it's on foundation, then it's just going to take that foundation off. So that is also another reason why I already have it down before I have anything on my skin. So to begin, I'm going to start by taking a small brush, and I'm going to take the ColourPop E19 brush. It's a small fluffy brush, and we're going to go into our Morphe 24A Artist Pass Palette. So I did do a first impressions on this, but I want to create some other looks other than what I did do. So today, what I'm going to lean towards is, let's see if I can, these 4 colors right here. So these 4 colors right here, okay? So to begin, I'm going to take this like mustard yellow. It's called Get the Shot. So it's the shade right here. And as you can tell, there is a yellow in this pan, but you can see this one is much darker, so it's more of a mustard yellow. So again, taking that E19 brush, just gonna swirl in there, and to begin, I'm not going in my crease or on the lid. I'm going more so up above my crease because I want to bring it up high. So I'm going to start like right there. So as you can tell, it's above my crease. It's kind of on my brow bone a little bit, but it's not up as high onto my brow bone. So very lightly, I'm going to just sweep that back and forth. Now the reason why I'm going with a more brighter shade on top is because I'm going to go from bright to dark to kind of in between. You'll see what I'm talking about. So, and I'm going to go in as far as I can. So again, just kind of sweep that back and forth. So right now we are mainly kind of just blending it out. Now I'm going to take my ColourPop E17 brush. It's a little bit of a larger fluffy brush. It's kind of in between that a large and a small, so more of like a medium. And now I'm going to go into Desert Vibes, which is the shade right here. So it's right next to that mustard shade. Just going to pick up a little bit, not too much at first. And then I'm going to go right underneath that mustard shade. So now I'm going to try to focus on bringing it down a little bit into my crease, but not necessarily in my crease, if that makes sense. So basically we're still right above that crease. But we're not going on top of that mustard shade. We are going right underneath it. And I'm just going to build up that shade, and you're going to very, very carefully bring it in. So it should be like that. So as you can tell, this can get very messy. So again, that is why, another reason I'm doing this before I do my foundation. So I have that desert vibes on my brush again. I'm just gonna try to make it a little bit more intense to stand out. So now I'm going to go in with a ColourPop E20 brush. This is an E21 brush. This is a smaller, again, fluffy brush. This one is much smaller than the last two that we used. And the reason why is because we're going to go into a darker shade now. So now we're going to use Security, which is this brown shade. This brown shade right here. Now for this shade, I'm just going to put a little bit on my brush because it is darker. And now I'm going to go directly into my crease, okay? So I'm going to look up a little bit just so I can see my crease so I don't go on top of that desert vibes. So basically what you're doing right now is just kind of layering it like a cake in a way. You're not going to apply on top of any shade right now, you're just going to layer. So go right underneath that desert vibe shade. And what I'm doing is I'm very, very carefully applying it so that way I don't go on top of that shade. So I'm going in with a small amount at a time. I'm going to bring it more in. Don't worry about like blending it or anything right now. I'm just going to focus on, hi Emma. I'm just focusing right now on, yes. Okay, anyways, I'm just focusing right now on applying that shade to kind of make it stand out, and then I will kind of buff it in a little bit. So very, very carefully, and I'm not pushing hard at all. My brush, just the tip of it, just the very tip of my brush is what's touching my eye. So very gently apply it. I'm going to go in a little bit further onto my inner corner. Okay, now that I've done my other eye and I have no excess product on here other than what may still be on there. Yes, Emma. I'm going to work on kind of buffing it in a little bit now, but again, don't go on top of that desert vibe shade. You're just going to go back and forth, sweeping this, what is it, Security. So, and I'm very, very gently doing it. Okay, so it should look like that. Okay, so I was just going to go in with my next shade, but because it is glittery, I felt like maybe glitter glue might just make it stand out a little bit more, because I'm not going to go down with like my P. Louise like I normally do, or any like concealer or anything. So I've got the NYX glitter glue right here. So I'm just going to take a small amount on my brush here. This is the ColourPop E3 brush, a flat brush, so any flat brush will do. I'm just going to take a small amount. And where you're going to apply it is everywhere on that lid that you don't have any shade. Okay, so I'm just waiting for that glitter glue to get tacky on this eye here. Okay, and then I'm going to take my ring finger and go in with the shade Wild Out right here. And the reason why I'm using my finger is because I tried with a brush for this eye and it does not pick up with the brush at all. So do keep that in mind with this shade, and I highly do suggest using glitter glue, because if it's not going to show up with, if you can't get it on a brush, then when you apply your finger, in this shade and you apply it to your eyelid without anything down, I have a feeling it's not really going to show up either. So, and I really have to swirl my finger into that shade to get it to pick up. The only thing I don't like about this and having to use my fingers, I can't be really precise about where I'm wanting to place it. Okay, so now I'm going to take my ColourPop E21 brush and go back in with that shade Security, because whenever you apply that Wild Out with your finger, you're going to go on top of that Security, not like on purpose or anything, just because your finger is bigger than a brush. And I'm just going to kind of reapply that. So you're going to go over that glitter a little bit, because you want to make sure that shade, you can still see it. And then I'm going to go in with my E17 brush and I'm going to go back in with that Desert Vibes. So right now I'm basically reapplying my shades to get them to show up a little bit better. And then going back with my ColourPop E19 brush in that mustard shade, get the shot. Okay, so then it should look like that. Okay, and then I'm gonna take my tape off. Okay, so we are back and zoomed back in. So I took a makeup wipe and I just cleaned off any glitter that I had on my face and underneath my eye. And then I applied my Lime Life Liquid Black Liner on top, as well as my IT Cosmetics Superhero Mascara on top. And now we are going to do our bottom lash line. So let's go back into that 24A Artist Pass palette. And I'm going to take the shade, Get the Shot, which is that mustard shade right here. And I'm going to just use my same brush that I used on top for that shade, which is my E19 brush. And then I'm just going to go on my bottom lash line. And I'm pushing as far up as I can with it. Okay, now I'm going to go back in with my E17 brush. I'm going to go into that Desert Vibe shade again. Take just a small amount, and then I'm going to go right on top of that, Get the Shot shade. Now going back with my E21 brush, back into that shade Security. And again on top of those shades on the bottom lash line. Alright, now I'm going to close up that palette and I'm just going to grab my LA Girl Glide Gel Eyeliner in Very Black. Which I actually need to sharpen it, so hopefully I can get some out. And I'm just lightly putting it on there. Now I'm going to go back in with that brush that we had that desert shades on, that E21 brush. No excess product on it. Just going to kind of smoke that out a little bit. Alright, now I'm going to take my Benefit Bad Gal Bing Mascara and apply that to my lower lash line. Alrighty, so here is the completed eye look. I hope you guys enjoyed this little tutorial here. I wanted to create something different for you guys than what I normally do. I realized I kind of lean more towards those pinks and those purples, so I wanted to switch it up and I also wanted a reason to use this palette again to try it out. And I'm glad I did. Plus I wanted to try that tape technique, so I'm glad I did that too. And if you guys want to see something other than what I normally create, like a different type of eyeshadow or just some other type of like makeup, then feel free to leave that in the comments down below, and I will see you guys in one of my next videos. Bye.